Did AEW try to sign Bray Wyatt? And there has been a backstage altercation at AEW Dynamite. But first, Saraya gets physical on AEW Dynamite. 2 weeks ago at Grand Slam, Saraya would make her AEW debut as she made the save for Toni Storm and Athena, who were caught in a post-match beatdown at the hands of Britt Baker, Serena Deeb and Jamie Hayter, seemingly setting up a feud between Saraya and Baker in the process. Since then, the key question has been, will she wrestle? Of course, in 2018, Saraya was forced to retire due to neck issues with her not wrestling since a house show in Uniondale, New York on December 27th, 2017. Well, on last night's episode of Dynamite, the questions were seemingly answered when Saraya got herself involved in a brawl in the middle of the ring. After being confronted by Britt Baker, she would throw punches before delivering a super kick to Rebel, this after a 6-woman tag team match on Dynamite. She would then tell the crowd that this is her house. Earlier in the night, Britt had claimed that Saraya hadn't been cleared to wrestle in a backstage promo, although it seems that she may have now been proven wrong. Saraya's friend Renee Paquette would then take to Twitter after the segment to seemingly confirm her status further, with her writing, "Woo, looks clear to me." It's unknown when Saraya will make her AEW in-ring debut, although you can likely expect a match with Baker to be built for the Full Gear pay-per-view on November 19th, 2022. And before we continue the video, let's go to a quick word from today's sponsor, Manscaped. That's right, Manscaped has been kind enough to help keep the WrestlePlanet train moving, giving you the chance to get your hands on the best in men's grooming at a generously discounted price, helping you score a victory down below. Manscaped has hooked me up with a bunch of awesome products from their all-in-one Performance Package 4.0, and first this is the Lawnmower 4.0, Manscaped's 4th generation electric trimmer. Not only is it waterproof, but it comes with skin-safe technology, avoiding any nicks and cuts in your most sensitive of areas, and the battery lasts longer than Omega Verso Carder 3. The cordless charging system makes it the perfect tag team partner, with handy LED lights on the front to show you how much juice you have left in the tank, and you can tap the button 3 times to enable the travel lock if you're out and about. And if you're like me and you get those niggling nose hairs that you have to eye-wateringly pluck out, you can now save yourself the dread by using the super useful Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. Also thrown into the ring are 2 life-saving products, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant for all-day odor protection, as well as the Aloe Vera Crop Reviver Ball Toner Spray for all-day use. If you go to manscaped.com and use code WRESTLE20, you can get all that for 20% off, and it comes with 2 free gifts on us, including the handy Shed travel bag and the super cozy anti-chafing boxers. So go to manscaped.com now and use code WRESTLE20, that's WRESTLE20 with no spaces, for 20% off your very own Performance Package 4.0. Next up, 4 NXT stars are set for a main roster call-up. At the NXT Heatwave special on August 16th, Santos Escobar would lose in a street fight against Tony D'Angelo, and as per the stipulation, he was banned from NXT. Since then, he and his Legado del Fantasma faction haven't been seen on the developmental brand, with rumors circulating that they are on their way to the main roster. Well, it seems like the call-up is now imminent, with PW Insider reporting that they could show up on SmackDown as early as tomorrow night, and they would write, "For those who have asked where Legado del Fantasma have been since they departed WWE NXT, PWInsider.com is told the current plan is for the group to debut for the SmackDown brand. We are told that Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, Elektra Lopez, and Raul Mendoza may appear as soon as tomorrow's SmackDown season premiere from Worcester, Massachusetts. There were pictures for them recently, and some we have spoken to believe the group will start this week." The report was also backed up by Fightful Select, who confirmed that their debut is imminent, and Creative was told to get direction for them. Fightful would also add that more NXT names are likely heading to Raw and SmackDown as the year comes to a close. But what NXT wrestlers do you see getting called up next? Let me know in the comments down below. And next, a huge title match has been announced in AEW. Elsewhere on AEW Dynamite last night, Ring of Honor World Champion Chris Jericho would team with Sammy Guevara to take on Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson in the main event of the show, a match that would lead to Garcia being pinned by Guevara. Despite the loss, it was later announced that Bryan Danielson will receive a shot at Jericho's Ring of Honor belt next week in Toronto, Canada, with the two currently sitting with a 1-1 record against each other. As a previous ROH World Champion himself, himself, this will be Danielson's first shot at the title since August 2009, where he failed to beat Austin Aries during Bryan's farewell tour as he headed to WWE. Danielson's first and only reign began in September 2005, a reign that would last 462 days, even unifying the belt with the ROH Pure title. Elsewhere on next week's Canada show, Jungle Boy will face off with his former tag team partner Luchasaurus, who will be joined by hometown Christian Cage, while Swerve Strickland battles Billy Gunn as he continues to feud with the Acclaimed. But who do you think leaves Toronto as the Ring of Honor World Champion? Will it be Chris Jericho or Bryan Danielson? Let me know in the comments down below. And next up, did AEW try to sign Bray Wyatt? With the reveal of the White Rabbit in WWE on the horizon, many anticipate the return of Bray Wyatt to the company following his July 2021 release last year. To the surprise of many, he has remained a free agent since then, with him seemingly an obvious pick for any major wrestling organization to pick up, including All Elite Wrestling. Speaking with Ariel Helwani this week to promote last night's episode of Dynamite, AEW president Tony Khan would be asked if he ever approached Wyatt regarding a potential move, with him responding, "I don't want to talk about people I have or haven't talked to, but he's a great guy. I think I've said this in an interview before, so I wouldn't be giving anything away. He was at Chris Jericho's birthday party. I've never talked to him about that kind of thing in person or anything. I think he's a tremendous talent. Same as I said before, I wouldn't want to comment on stuff with people's specific negotiations." Following reports of Warner Media pushing hard to keep Cody Rhodes around in AEW before his departure earlier this year, Khan would be asked if he himself tried hard to get him to stay, something that he wasn't willing to comment on once again, and he would respond, "Again, we're in the realm of stuff I can't talk about, but I have a ton of respect for Cody and really like Cody a lot and wish him the best in everything he's doing." Tony would then also be asked about the statuses of CM Punk and the Elite following their suspensions after the AEW All Out backstage incident, although as expected, he refused to comment despite being pushed for an answer several times. By all accounts, the situation is pending an internal investigation as well as potential legal issues. Going back to Bray Wyatt, it seems unlikely that he will land anywhere but WWE at this point, with the reveal of the White Rabbit expected this weekend at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view in Philadelphia. And next, there has been a backstage altercation at AEW Dynamite. As we covered in yesterday's video, AEW's Andrade El Idolo would take part in a recent interview with Matt Lucha, where he discussed the recent backstage heat and altercation between the Elite and CM Punk. The topic would then turn to his own issues in the locker room, with his heat with former TNT champion Sammy Guevara coming up, with Andrade revealing, "I had an issue with him because he once came into the locker room and complained that we hit him too hard. It's wrestling, solve it in the ring. If I hit hard, hit me hard too. I learned that he came in and that he accused me like a little girl. After I learned about it, I spoke to him and asked if he had an issue with me, but he said he did not, and that's all there was to it." The two men would then go back and forth on Twitter, with things now coming to a head at last night's Dynamite tapings. Right before the show went live, a report from TMZ would reveal details of an alleged backstage altercation, with punches being thrown, and the report would note, AEW stars Sammy Guevara and Andrade were just involved in a backstage altercation, sources tell TMZ Sports, and Andrade has been sent home. We're told the incident happened at an AEW Dynamite show at the Entertainment and Sports Center in Washington, D.C. Wednesday night. Sources tell us words were exchanged and then things turned physical. Sammy allegedly pushed Andrade and punches were thrown, according to our sources. It's unclear if anyone was hit. Our sources are adamant the altercation was not part of an AEW storyline. As for the reason for the fight, the guys have been in an intense beef that spilled over on social media. On Tuesday, the wrestlers went back and forth on Twitter. Our sources say several wrestlers are pissed at Sammy for publicly airing personal private issues, and things just boiled over at the arena. Quickly after the report went live, Andrade would take to Twitter to post this picture, which reads, "Respect me, and I'll respect you." It's important to note that TMZ's story seems to be Andrade's side of things, whilst Fightful Select and Wrestling Observer Radio have noted that Sammy tried to avoid a fight, and that it was Andrade that initiated the incident. It was added that both men had been spoken to and warned about not fighting, and had assured management that they wouldn't be. Several talents are said to have told Fightful that they had expected it to be squashed as opposed to the fight. Days Dave Meltzer would also add that Andrade was told ahead of time that he would not be fired if he got into a fight, with many feeling like he's trying to find a way out of AEW following the recent regime change in WWE, with him having his eye on a jump. Whilst Andrade was sent home following the incident, Sammy Guevara would appear twice on the show, first in a backstage promo involving the Jericho Appreciation Society before competing in the main event, teaming with Jericho to defeat Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia, with himself pinning Garcia for the win. During the match, there would be numerous chants in favor of El Idolo, with fans, at least for now, on the side of the Idol. On top of this, it's since been confirmed that Andrade's match this Friday on Rampage has now been cancelled, with Preston Vance being slotted into a title match instead. The original plans would have seen the two men fight in an AEW career versus mask match, although Vance will now team with his Dark Order teammates John Silver and Alex Reynolds to take on the Death Triangle for the Trios Championships to celebrate the anniversary of Brody Lee's last match. We'll of course have more on the story as things develop, so be sure to get subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss the latest wrestling news. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 things that you didn't know about AEW's Hook.